Well, the US President Donald Trump's decision to impose reciprocal tariffs of 26% on India is expected to significantly impact the gems and jewelry sector. Remember, the US accounted for $10 billion of India's annual gems and jewelry exports in FY24. Joining us now are Adil Kotwal, Chairman, SEEP's Gem and Jewelry Manufacturers Association, and Sabyasachi Ray's EDI Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. Gentlemen, hi, thank you so much for joining in. Well, another day and more uncertainty into the markets there. Mr. Ray, to you first. And I remember we spoke on the day one itself, and there was still some clarity that the street was awaiting. Now with 26% on and the negotiations going on, what is it that the sense you are getting on US exports to the Indian exports to US rather?
Manisha, I think I was watching you also taking in different segments. See, one of the things what is coming out from everywhere, every segment, every sector is uncertainty. And throughout the world, right now, what we are hearing from US also, so negotiations are going on. What we understand is that everybody is negotiating, whether EU or other countries, other than China. So that is where we are. So negotiations are on. Nobody has, reciprocated what US has come into. We are also negotiating. In fact, what we understand is that our government, or rather our Prime Minister, went and had already discussed with Mr. Trump. And we are talking about $500 billion of exports in the near run. But right now, everything is on a standstill. I'll explain you what do you mean by a standstill. See where are we? What is gems and jewelry? We are not some essential commodities what we talk about, and we are also very high value goods. So when you talk about percentage, like if let's say we talk about oil, it is a $80, $60 or something like that. But at our end, we are talking about $1 million. So a percentage of 26% on $1 million will not work. Suddenly, let's say the date is 9th. Before 9th and after 9th. After 9th, suddenly your $1 million goods with 1 million, like 1.26 million. So it is not acceptable. So that way, we do not believe in the shorter run, there will be customers whom we can find to sell those goods. And in fact, the buyers who are also taking the goods from our sellers, like Adil Bhai is here, so they will also not accept the goods because they are also not sure that whether this 26% will remain or where it will go, how much down it will go, etc. Till those clarity comes in, the exports will be standstill for our sector. That is what we look into. And of course, after that, wherever we end up, let's say in jewelry, where we end up, in diamonds, what we end up, based on that, the demand, where it ends up, because once the inflation kicks in, as we are not an essential commodity, they have to spend in other goods, and after that, how much it is in their pocket, and based on that, how much demand remains for our commodity. Based on that only we'll understand. That is what right now I can, respond.
I understand that exports at a standstill currently isn't a nice place to be. And as my earlier guest was also telling me that it's a bad environment for businesses across the world. Mr. Kotwal, what has been your sense? Not a nice time to be and a lot of clarity awaited. But as we understand, as Mr. Ray also said, that there is conversation between the two governments, which can take 3 months or 6 months. And is the trade, is the industry, do you have that much time to wait by?
Good evening, Manisha. To respond to you, from SEEPs, starting today, starting tomorrow, I don't see any exports going to the USA. Everybody has told us that please put all orders on hold. They have told us manufacture it and keep it ready for us. We'll tell you because there are tremendous amount of uncertainties. When we export to the US previously on $1 million, we were paying $60,000 duty. Starting tomorrow on $1 million of exports, we'll have to pay $320,000 duty. Before the goods even enter United States, you have to pay the duty. So it's a cash flow mess. Retailers, they have to change their retails. A ring which was being sold in a retail store for $3,000 is now suddenly going to be sold for $4,000. Is it an attractive price at which the buyers will come and the customers will come and buy it? These are several questions. And so till the retail, we sell mostly to retailers from SEEPs. About a $3.5 billion exports, of which 64% account for United States. We employ 100,000 workers. Everything has come to a standstill. The retailers in the United States right now, I would say, have enough stock for the next 3 months.
Okay.
So they are not in any great rush to send us purchase orders and buy it and suddenly go out of sales. If this was During October, November, December, that would have been a different situation because they would want goods in their stores. But right now, it's a quiet time. Mother's Day goods have already reached them. So 3 to 4 months stock lying with them, they are not in any rush to send us purchase orders. What does that
Mr. Kotwal, what is the conversation with the government now? Because we do understand that whether it's about Commerce Ministry or Finance Ministry has been in touch, has been asking for representations, has been in touch with the value chain, the stakeholders, that is.
Yes. Oh, yes. The government has been in touch with us. We have been in touch with them. And I believe that in the next 3 months, some resolution should come about. This cannot continue like this. The India side is also very keen that we come up with a good resolution, a bilateral trade agreement. So whilst we'll have 3 months of difficult time, I believe things will settle down after 3 months. 3 months is a difficult, because the surprise element is the 26% on diamonds, which was never there. Now that has jacked up the prices tremendously at the end for the retail sector. I'm personally confident that we'll be able to settle this at a fair level where the jewelry can absorb that kind of duty. 32% jewelry in the United States cannot.
Just one word, Mr. Kotwal. So 26% doesn't work for you. Even if there is a negotiation, let's say in 3 months, the time that you're giving to yourself, what is a percentage that you are agreeable to work with?
I think around 10% we'll all be very comfortable.
Okay. Mr. Ray, US is one market and 10%, Mr. Kotwal says, is okay to work with. China is another monster right now. And how are you looking at various other markets? Because even if US doesn't work for, let's say, next 3, 4, 5 months, 3 months is what you are assuring yourself of right now. How are the other markets looking like?
Yes, again, Manisha, you are continuously with us, tracking the markets and how is it doing. You have seen we have a fairly good Hong Kong show in March. So we were, the diamond segment, which was also going through some very rough times, had a very good time in Hong Kong, and they were looking at orders from China, etc. So China is one of the markets which was not doing for us well. US was doing very well. So we were looking at revival of the Chinese market in March, but after that, when this tariff has come in, we do not know how much it will impact the Chinese economy. And based on that, again, the diamond market, how it will look like. So if you're looking at two big of our diamond markets is, US and China. That is where it looks like. Now let us go to the gold jewelry. The gold jewelry market, again, after CEPA has done very well in the Middle East. Again, if you look into the price of gold, it was a dampener into buying of the jewelry because the prices are shot up within the short run. And now, just now, again, I was hearing about the crude prices, etc. If that goes down, the Middle East money, the disposable income, what will happen about that? So if you're looking at this market, these are the three major markets where our sector operates. And all these three major markets, there is a lot of uncertainty right at this moment of time.
Oh, well, absolutely. And that's about US and China, two major markets. And what the tariff will do to other various countries is still something very, very uncertain. And how would it impact essential commodities and then luxury items like jewelry is something that all the markets really seem to be working on right now. Mr. Kotwal, Mr. Ray, thank you so much for joining in and throwing in some light on what really works and what doesn't. And of course, next 3 to 4 months is the kind of clarity that the street thinks we will get in some sense. But thank you so much. And that's all the time that we have on Commodity Champions. Thank you for watching.